You got to imagine, as soon as they became beholden to their shareholders, it's all of a sudden they stopped caring about what the consumers wanted. That's why there's such a disconnect between the consumer and the provider, right?
Man, I'll tell you what, by the way, man, Disney used to be the best company ever of all time, but they've gone just whole time and time again. They've proven that they could not be trusted with anything artful anymore. Oh, you're back.
We're not doing this 2 weeks in a row.
We'll talk about Steamboat Willie. We'll talk about the Disney lobbying, how copyright laws in general have been kind of shite. But also, the next part that I'm excited for is just talking about how Disney has fallen from grace. They used to be a company that I rather admired. I loved the art form that they engaged in, and now it's just a bunch of shite. Anyways, yeah, let's roll that intro.
I'm going to stab you. I'm going to stab you. There's no intro. Also, Nathan's on the podcast today. How's it going?
Yeah.
Nathan.
He's being shipped off to... Say where?
Somewhere I cannot disclose on the internet.
He's not being shipped off, actually. He's being stayed.
Don't worry, we'll get the military secrets
He's
out
being
of him.
shipped off to Epstein's Island. He's
He is.
Find the rest of the list.
Oh boy!
Yes, he's gonna
What
find
a
the rest of
champ.
the
What a
list.
champ! So yes, we got.
We will
got
be
our-
disclosing the rest of Epstein's
my-
list here on the Couch Gaming Podcast on the next episode when Nathan will most likely be killed on the way by Hillary Clinton.
Why are you wearing sunglasses?
I don't know. It's a decision I made mid-sentence. Hey, thanks, babe. Yeah.
So yes, we got our bud Nathan here on today's podcast. Of course, we have Jacob over there who spoke following Michael, and we have Charles right over here. Who is basically just here to kind of sit down and look cool for a moment.
Yeah, that's actually what they pay me for.
100%.
They don't pay me well enough.
We pay
So-
you?
Well, and other benefits. You know.
Oh, that's what you and Jacob do. Okay.
Here at
that
the Couch
makes
Gaming Podcast, we believe in free labor.
And look to the intro to see exactly what we're talking about, because I want you to put that into the intro.
Oh, yeah,
on the
Steamboat Willie.
podcast.
Yeah, for those of you
So-
who don't know who Steamboat Willie is, it's that thing, Mickey Mouse cartoon that's black and white that sometimes you see at old freaking Disney cartoons that go... Or
That's
whatever.
not how you whistle.
I don't know
Yeah.
how it goes. I've only seen Steamboat Willie a few times. Hey, thanks, man.
I can't whistle, so yeah.
So yes, Steamboat Willie has finally fallen into the public domain, which is a miracle
Could you
given the
just
fact.
hold the mic
Wait,
still?
we're
for
talking
God's
about a
sake?
cartoon? My
talking-
research was Urban Dictionary, and that was something way different.
Oh my
Why
god!
did Steamboat Willie come up with Urban Dictionary? I'm actually kind of curious. Urban Dictionary. Wait, are you serious with that, or like? Okay, well, that was a joke.
It's definitely a thing.
Freaking, yeah, definitely.
Oh, yeah.
Definitely
Wait,
a
am
thing.
I gonna,
Yeah.
am I gonna be put on
a girl pull a Steamboat Willie on you before?
Oh,
Oh my god!
Am I gonna get put on a list if I Google this?
That's a whole new experience.
Well,
gonna be
Nathan
put on
will
a
find
bucket
it on the
list.
next episode of the
Like
Couch
your
Gaming
bucket list.
Podcast.
Jacob, it's going on a bucket list. That's what it's doing.
Oh man.
Let's get back on topic.
Sorry,
Let's get back
Oh
on-
my gosh.
sorry.
But yes, Steamboat Willie has finally fallen into the public domain. We are a little bit late on this subject, but basically I want to get deeper into how Disney is a shite company because they basically have lobbied for like the past since 1976 to keep the character under their control. So it's a miracle that we now have the character, but there's a little bit more legal complications to everything. So I do want to start out. Does everyone here kind of understand the basic like copyright laws that have gone on through history from the Copyright Act of 1831 up to...
You explained it to me, but go ahead and explain it for everybody else.
So basically, you have the original Copyright Extension Act of 1831. Original copyright laws dictated that copyrighted works would stay copyrighted for 14 years, and after 14 years, they'd go into the public domain. In 1831, that got extended from 14 to 28, with the option to extend another 14 after that. And then 1909 came along and kind of extended the terms on that from 14 to from 28 being the standard, with a option to extend 28 years more. This brought us to about 56 years, which would have made Steamboat Willie put Steamboat Willie in the public domain in 1984. Well, around 1976 or so, Disney actually lobbied to keep the character, and a ton of other companies. It wasn't strictly Disney alone, through the 1976 Copyright Act, which extended it from 56 to 75. And then finally, the famous Copyright Term Extension Act of 1998 extended that from 75 to 95 years, which creates a whole list of problems for a lot of characters that were supposed to be in the public domain, but ultimately didn't end up
So
there.
my question automatically is, why are we fighting, or why is Disney fighting so freaking hard for this one piece of animation? It's not a long piece of animation. I know Steamboat Willie is actually part of a longer animation. I actually saw that when I was a kid. It's like the beginning of that animation, but it's very, very famous for how many leaps and bounds it took in animation at the time. I know it's famous. I know it's part of Disney, but goodness gracious, why are we fighting so hard over that?
Well, it's primarily because Mickey Mouse is their whole brand.
Money.
Yeah, but
It's all money.
Yeah.
Disney was afraid of losing their main character that represented their brand.
But it's not even like Mickey Mouse that's put under like public domain. It's freaking Steamboat Willie. He's not even classified as Mickey at the time.
So no, Steamboat Willie
is
is
that
the
true?
ship. No, Steamboat Willie is the ship on the original cartoon.
Right, but wasn't he not? I know that he's the ship, but like, wasn't he not classified
more
as Mickey at the
confused.
time?
So no, he was still Mickey Mouse, which
Oh, okay, I
creates
was
another
wrong.
list of legal problems because the name Mickey Mouse is trademarked
God, I was
under
wrong.
Disney as well. So there can potentially be legal issues using the cartoon with Mickey Mouse's name on that first little frame as well. So, and that goes into the fact that Disney has been continuously copyright striking a lot of the content with the Steamboat Willie content.
So we could still use
YouTube.
Steamboat Willie in our video, and we could still possibly have the possibility of getting copyright strike, even though that's in the public domain.
Potentially, because they've trademarked not only the name of Mickey Mouse, but they trademarked the moving image of Steamboat Willie whistling on the boat for their animated projects. at
Hey,
the
Disney,
beginning.
could you chill out for half a second, please? That'd be great.
So
I'd like to use some of that content.
Here's my thing. I really am trying to understand something. So like, why does it really matter if someone wants to like? How does this affect their profit margins?
How does it affect their profit margins?
Yeah.
How does it affect Disney's profit margins?
Yes, that's exactly what I'm
So the thing is, it ultimately doesn't.
right. Because I'm trying to envision a scenario where this negatively impacts their profit margins, which is what, as a business, that's really what you should care about.
100%.
you know, obviously. I mean, make a good product that the consumer will like, thus you make tons of money.
I think it's
But-
more of a branding issue because when Steamboat Willie fell into the public domain, you immediately had like 2 horror movies announced, and basically Disney doesn't want their primary character
Oh, yeah,
being
freaking Winnie
associated
the
with
Pooh.
anything
Okay,
negative.
but how? I still don't see how this really negatively impacts them. So,
I don't either. But
Yeah.
from their point of view, it's kind of like
like, okay, here's-
Demeaning
here's the
their
thing.
main
I
their
think,
brand.
I think the.
As he walks out of frame.
Hold on, turn it-
Let's say somebody tell that to Meat Canyon.
I think.
Shit.
For the love of God.
Did you hear that he's taking a break? Apparently,
What?
yeah.
Just in time for Steamboat Willie.
I
Really?
know, right? Oh, imagine what he could do.
Oh.
oh my god.
Anyways, but I think copyright laws. I do think originally, like the original like drafting of how it works makes sense. Because here's the thing. I mean, you've developed an idea, right? But you don't want people to make money off of your ideas. And if you're going to continue using your ideas to make more money, I mean, I get it. You know, this was your hard work. This was your baby. You don't want other people to profit off of your baby.
Yeah.
But after a time when you're not doing anything with it or years have passed, I mean, yeah, then let people make more art with what you've created, you know?
And
'Cause
it's, I'm so sorry.
art should be shared. Here's the thing. I'm all for making money. I'm all for it. Make money off of stupid people. But the art is more important to me. It just is, damn it. And capitalism is ruining my video games too. Down with the government. Man, I'll tell you what, by the way. Man, Disney used to be the best fucking company ever of all fucking time. But they've gone just horseshit time and time again. They've proven that they cannot be trusted with anything artful anymore. All right?
Sold his soul to the devil.
I remember back when The Lion King was masterclass in storytelling. Granted, wasn't an original idea, but it was still beautiful. But now I got this realistic lion-looking shit, which also, what the fuck? They ruined the song Be Prepared. How the fuck do you ruin that? How the fuck do you accomplish that? And then there's The Little Mermaid. I won't go into further detail on
Dear
that
God.
one. I feel like I might get canceled if I
Please
say
don't say
anymore.
anything. Saucy Joe, please
Yeah.
don't say anything.
Saucy joke.
I won't say it.
This is going to be the
gonna
name of
get cut
Michael's
out.
new character, Saucy Joe. Saucy Joe, please continue.
Saucy joke.
Anyways, no, I think, copyright with its like original, like how it was created, I think it makes sense.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm all for it.
I can even understand extending the rights from like
Sure.
14 to 28. Yeah, I get the 28. 28 years is a good amount of time to have.
Would you argue that it makes sense for the original, like let's consider just J.K. Rowling, for example, right? Would it make sense for the Harry Potter like property, like, to not be in the public domain until her death, or until she's like, yeah, whatever?
Well, yeah, as an author, I believe it goes from the end of her lifespan up to like 70 years after the fact. To be fair, if it was only up to her death, I would say that's fair.
Yeah.
The fact that it extends 70 years after someone's
that's
death,
horseshit.
they're not doing anything with the property
They're
at that
dead.
point. They're gone. There's no royalties to be paid.
To be on the side of... I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say one of the coolest examples of it working really well though is Lord of the. I'm sorry. One of the cool examples of it really working though is Lord of the Rings, where Tolkien died, but his son ended up responding to fan letters and releasing more lore based on his dad's like drafts and later writings and stuff like that. It was a really, really cool usage of the legacy to expand on the universe even after Tolkien died.
To be fair, that's an extreme example because Lord of the Rings, the movies, and even like to an extent The Hobbit, like you can hate The Hobbit all you want, but even it's still better than a lot of the other movies that have been coming out as of recent. Like that was a great example of the lore being taken very seriously and being taken very well. There's other properties out there like the Percy Jackson series originally. They had 2 movies that came out and they were balls. They were not good. The author didn't like it at all. No.
By the way,
but that was his choice though. He was alive.
For the few audience members watching this does not mean that the Hobbit movies are good.
Yeah, no, they're
not good.
They're
horrible.
terrible.
Horrible.
films.
They're just better than Mrs. Marvel.
I mean, that's not the highest bar.
It's not the highest bar. I'm
Even
just
the
saying.
2005 Doom movie, which I recognize as being a shite film, but I still love it, is better than the Marvels or whatever the fuck they're called now.
There have been several major releases by Disney in the past year, 2013. Or, sorry, not 2013, 2023. Almost all of them bombed. Pretty much all of them bombed. Wish bombed, the Miss Marvel's bombed, or the Marvels bombed. The Miss Marvel's bombed. Pretty much all the Marvel movies that year
She'll never be a
bombed, I
Mrs.
believe, bombed. Ant-Man Quantumanium bombed. Every freaking big movie that came out bombed. And I was going to... Oh, sorry, you have something to say?
Have you noticed a consistent trend with most of these companies being beholden to ESG shareholders? I mean, Disney wasn't like this all the time, right? So
yeah,
you got to imagine as soon as they became beholden to their shareholders, it's all of a sudden they stopped caring about what the consumers wanted. That's why there's such a disconnect between the consumer and the provider, right?
Okay.
So, I mean, ESG shareholders are telling them you will get this guaranteed boatloads of money if you push this woke propaganda down their throats, right?
Oh.
They're going to make guaranteed money if they do this, rather than taking that risk on the market. Because I mean, everybody knows that most of these leftists don't like capitalism.
That makes a lot of sense why a lot of their content has really just felt like content. It just feels like content. It doesn't feel like any creative contributions have been put onto the content, it just feels like if you look at all of the shows, there's a constant trend in a lot of Disney shows as of recent, if you're looking at it. And I'm sorry, I'm jumping to the shark talking about content. I'll get back to copyright in just a second. But if you look at all of the shows and how they're structured, the beginning is relatively entertaining. There's a bit of a hook to get you entertained. There's a big action set piece. There's something that happens with the characters, usually something that happens at the very beginning. The middle episodes are garbage, and they're just filler content. And then something happens at the ending that's semi-entertaining. Because you don't necessarily need to work hard on the script. You don't necessarily need to work hard on the writing. You just need to create content. And it doesn't need to be creative, doesn't need to be good, doesn't have to be quality. It just has to be content. And that's all that they're interested in putting out. And that's what all of the series have felt like, from The Mandalorian to even the Percy Jackson series, which I thought started off pretty good. And now I'm not interested anymore.
They never end off on a good note.
You know,
With any of their movies. It's so sad.
at the risk of sounding like a total weeb.
Oh, dear.
This is why just a lot of my consumption in media is just anime at this point, or just anything from Japan.
There's a lot of really good stuff that comes from there.
Well, because like
Because we nuked them.
well,
Hey, could you put the mic in his face and him say that one more time, please, so he can get canceled? Not us.
No, but
Repeat that one more time, Nate.
there's not some political nonsense going on in my anime. There's just not. Granted, there's a lot of anime that is just garbage. Don't get me wrong.
I'll do a little theory here. I'm just saying hentai didn't exist before we nuked them. I'm just saying.
Yeah, thank God. Yeah, we did good.
The flash of light that they saw in the distance represented the bulb going out in their eyes, like, oh, I got an idea. Nuke.
There's a reason that mushroom cloud is shaped like a light bulb. They had a great idea.
Yes.
Oh my God.
Yes.
They had a great idea past that.
The Lord of the Rings is a extreme example of a property that was given a license to use by a major studio. That was a great series, and it was one in a million. And I think we can all agree that Lord of the Rings was not something that we've seen quality-wise happen since. It's such a great, great, great series. But there have been other series that have been put down the pooper scooper. And I've seen it happen with my properties, like I said, Percy Jackson, a few other shows. Was it Aragon? That was awful.
Hey, they're remaking that one.
Good.
Yeah.
Good. Thank God. But yeah, I understand why creators don't want to put their property or give it public domain property. The difference with Disney is what Liam was talking to me about earlier. They licensed fairy tales.
Yes. The hypocrisy with Disney itself is that it built its whole company off of public domain works such as Snow White and Sleeping Beauty and Peter Pan and Pinocchio. The whole foundation of Disney's company is off of public domain's work. So there's a huge amount of irony in them pushing to keep things out of the public domain for a longer period of time. Another problem that this presents is the fact that if it weren't for the legislation in 1976, many popular characters would have already been in the public domain for other storytellers to use. And we basically have missed out on that opportunity because of the lobbying.
Lobbying should be illegal.
Look,
Okay, can you explain lobbying for the idiots in this room? I don't know things.
Oh,
Money to government to pass bill. That we can simple.
It is legal bribery. It's people going into the lobbyists of the Congress buildings and senates and basically bribing people to have a certain agenda or to vote.
Oh, for God's sakes! Yeah.
This is why I've been saying for so long. We should just not first off, don't tax businesses. All right, Which, if you don't tax businesses, they don't have representation. Just saying. But yeah, no. And if that happens, then when a business like Disney eventually fails, they can't be saved. Let them fall into hell.
That just means getting rid of government bailouts.
Say it again.
Necessarily.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I
that
mean.
wouldn't
That's
limit
what I mean.
lobbying necessarily because
Yeah, it would in some regard, wouldn't it?
Not really, because lobbying is more a company goes to the government to pass a certain bill and bribes the individuals within that government. It has less to do with any tax benefits.
I thought that was one of the things when you tax.
They lobby to get incentives for these people rather than it already being set up that way. That's why lobbyists exist, is to make it beneficial for them. Disney is one of the biggest culprits of this.
So, quick question for you.
They even
like,
have
does-
and they even have a budget for lobbying that they're public about.
It's legal. Why would they not be public about it? It's legal.
Is it is all of that stuff in the public domain? Can we all access all that stuff?
It's public or it's political contributions. Those all have to be.
Oh, so it's all public information. Okay. So, quick question: is the agenda that Disney's producing, the agenda that a lot of studios have been producing, is that because of the lobbying, because of the donors, or is it because of the company itself? Like, who's more involved in the what is it? The messaging,
They
political
use lobbying
messaging.
as a tool for that, but it's necessarily, again, like I come back to the environmental social governance, ESG, which is places like Vanguard, BlackRock, places that are owned by George Soros, that they give companies like Disney boatloads of money to push a certain agenda. Regardless of why they have that agenda, I have no clue.
Okay.
It just depends. But it seems like, that stuff obviously isn't beneficial to the consumer.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, due to the fact that ESG does have power over them, they can lose as much money as they want and still make all the money in the world.
They have guaranteed profit with ESG. Rather
Michael,
than
you are in the
risk
shot.
market.
This is why I need a bowl and you didn't give me one.
I gave you a coffee cup. What do you want from me?
I didn't get anything.
That's essentially, it's a big coffee cup. That's a bowl. That's a small bowl for a small child. I
Hey,
just
you
gave
can
it to the
drink it at
biggest
the
one in
end.
the room.
It looks like a teacup in his hands.
Here, I'll give you a bowl. I'll give you a bowl.
Wait, are you calling him fat?
I am fat.
How original.
I am very fat.
Oh, man.
Give me
Just
that,
saying
you
it,
piece of shit.
It's gravitational lensing. That's what it is.
What the fuck did you just say?
See, we don't fat shame. We use creative language to fat shame.
Oh, I fat shame.
That's still fat shaming.
I got banned from the debate room in my high school because I said fat shaming works.
It does.
We need to all constantly look at Michael and continuously fat shame him every day until he makes a change.
Shame!
If you watch this podcast down below, comment.
God.
Comment.
If your BMI is over 38, stop watching us. Fuck you.
100%.
If you watch this podcast, why?
We have just excluded a portion of our audience.
We've excluded
We
48% of the U.S. population.
We excluded 90% of our audience.
Who is our audience? Just like people
I have
watching.
no
Michael.
idea.
He's got like 90 accounts and just watches.
So all of our subscribers are just Michael with a separate account.
Oh my god.
I mean, I didn't want to say it, but
I wouldn't be surprised.
I've been caught. Fuck.
I've been caught.
I see we've been slowly gaining followers and gaining subscribers on the podcast, and I wouldn't be subscribed if that was like an inside job. It's like, who watches this?
I don't
Not
watch
that
it.
not that I'm.
I don't watch it.
Yeah.
Listen, if you like this podcast, I don't care if you are politically affiliated with us or not. I appreciate it.
I care.
I don't care.
Get off this channel,
I
Libs.
don't care. Look, every subscriber we get
No
is
libs
closer to
allowed.
us getting paid doing this, and I would love to get paid doing this.
What'd you say?
So no libs are allowed.
No libs or
Oh, my gosh.
Goodbye.
Man.
Liam, shut your mouth. You're not helping this. You're not helping
totally
at all.
helping.
We
But-
need to.
The only political opinion that matters is what you think of pedophiles. And apparently there are some people who think that draws a political line.
Oh,
So-
hey, hold on. So, real quick, every time that we make a political short about pedophiles, we get a lot of views on those shorts. So, real quick, say something bad about pedophiles now.
Pedophiles,
Liam, say something
fuck
bad
you. I know.
Man,
Good job,
this is
Ross.
why you pedophiles should all just die in a fucking ditch. All right? The way you sinfully, lustfully look at them children, it makes me want to gut you like the swine you are.
Little
that
Timmy. That's pretty good. Yeah, thanks,
Okay.
man. Appreciate it.
To stay on point, Disney.
Disney and
Disney-
pedophiles, yes.
Disney-
That's-
Disney-
Pedophile, yes, yeah.
FBI, open up.
Fucking
Oh, yeah.
We're talking shit.
the other day.
I saw that you saw my name on the Epstein flight list. We're gonna have to do something about that.
This is the end of the Couch Canon podcast.
Very much.
This
Murder.
will be our last episode.
Minnie just wasn't doing it for me
Hey,
anymore.
hey, Nathan, how's it going?
What did I just walk into?
Dude, I don't even know. And I've been
This
sitting here.
started, and it's just continuing.
So you guys know that Mickey Mouse plays Call of Duty, right?
What?
Have you seen him play Call of Duty? Just
I
look up
fucking
Mickey
shred
Mouse.
those noobs.
You just look up Mickey Mouse plays Call of Duty. You should put that in a description.
I'm going to look that up right now. I'm Jamie on this
Yeah,
podcast.
He plays Black Ops 2. So
Liam,
just type
there
in
is no
Mickey Mouse
structure.
plays Black Ops 2.
There is no structure.
He
There is no
abuses Donald
structure.
Duck.
There is no structure.
We'll get back on point.
Will we?
No.
Hopefully.
plays
I
what?
hope not.
Plays
Mickey
what?
Mouse, Mickey Mouse plays Black Ops 2.
Oh.
I thought you were gonna say Mickey Mouse plays black people.
I mean, he does do that too. So.
Well, he hates the Jews. He might as well hate black people, too.
That's another thing about Disney.
Dag
I
nabbit.
cannot believe it. You Jew hating fuckers.
Yes, that's...
I think I just found Donald Duck instead.
No, that's it. He beats the shit out of him.
Bitch. I can't do a Donald Duck voice.
My grandpa can actually do a perfect Donald Duck impression.
Holy shit.
Wait, what was that? Who did that? That was you? Do it again. Wait, no, put the mic on his mouth. They take the mic. Welcome back from the edit. We are not showing any of what just happened for legal reasons.
So to go back to the copyright law, there was a lot of characters that were supposed to be in the public domain that are now not in the public domain due to Disney's lobbying
So
efforts.
what
such
are
as
some of the characters?
Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman.
Wait,
the
no,
Flash.
Batman's DC. They're not under Disney?
I'm saying the law affects those,
sorry,
those
okay.
works. So there are characters that would have been under the public domain, and actually the first version of Batman is supposed to fall into the public domain in the next 10 years or so.
Oh, wow.
The first version of
When
Batman?
I'm
Which means that-
37.
Oh yes.
Wow.
And now, good luck trying to make a Batman story because the name Batman is trademark, and you are limited to a very specific set of characters within the first issue of the Detective Comics,
And probably the
whatever
suit, too,
number.
and the
I don't know
god-awful
what it's numbered.
Yeah.
You are limited to you can't use Alfred. He's not in that comic.
Jesus.
You have a detective named Bruce Wayne. You can use Jim Gordon. You can use whatever villain was in that.
What was he named in that issue?
What?
What was he named? Was he not named Batman?
Right, Batman, but the name Batman itself is straight.
Oh, yeah, you
Batman
said
is
Batman's
trademarked. So
trademarked.
Batman is a trademarked name. So that creates a whole bunch of legal issues as well because the character may fall into the public domain, but then you're using a trademark
Can
name
we
as
try
well.
Bat Guy?
So we're talking specifically about the image when we're talking about this law.
There hasn't really been a legal case over it yet, but that's very much a legal case that can be made, such as with Mickey Mouse as well. That version of Mickey Mouse is in the public domain, but trademarks don't expire.
Right.
So basically, since the name Mickey Mouse is trademarked, that could potentially create a legal issue further down the line.
I just feel like companies like for example, if Batman was freely in the public domain, right? I feel like, artists who make like genuinely like good content, right? That's like there's the opportunity for them to be approached by those big companies like, hey, we really dug what you did with the character. Let's make a series with your creative input, or with you as the creative director or whatever.
Yeah,
or at the
right.
very...
I know
Well-
this is just this would be like utopia land. It would never happen, but it would be nice.
Sure, but
Or
what
the-
it would do is that at the very least, it wouldn't restrict certain characters to the studios that they're under. Any director could make a movie, or any artist can make a comic book about that character. And the problem with leaving things in copyrighted for so long is it gets rid of those storytelling opportunities. Imagine what we could have had if Batman was in the public domain and anyone could have made a Batman story. We'd probably have the opportunity, or at least the potential, of having some pretty good Batman films.
What would we do if we had access to Batman? Would we make a short film out of it? Would we have Batman on the pod? We get to literally have Batman on the podcast. One of our guys could just be Batman.
I mean, to be fair, we probably could do it now, and it wouldn't really make that it wouldn't really be a big deal, but we'd still.
What if we start making money off this podcast on the, you know, when we finally turn 60 and make money off this podcast? Like, could we have Batman on this podcast?
Yeah, our clickbait thumbnail is Batman breaks into the podcast. And
Batman breaks into the podcast.
And
Since the name is trademarked,
But it's
I'm Batcock.
oh my god. But it's it would be fairly similar to how we use characters like Sherlock Holmes. Anyone today can make a Sherlock Holmes film. I can make a Sherlock Holmes film. You can make a Sherlock Holmes film.
So,
if you want
We
to.
should
It's
do
not
that.
limiting.
Fat
Guys,
Sherlock
I have,
Holmes.
I have a $1
Yes.
million idea.
slowly and eventually solves the mystery over a period of time.
I have a $1 million idea.
What's up?
Sherlock Holmes.
Sure.
Can you stop pitching porns for Johnny Sins, please?
This is good. This is good.
Johnny Sins hit me up, man. I got a lot of ideas. I'm just saying.
No, we're not. No, we're not. Nabbit, what is this?
Nathan's like, I'm your
podcast?
biggest fan.
Just saying.
Just saying.
I've seen you butthole tanning, okay? I know.
What did you just say? What did you just say?
corner
To
being-
quote Chandler Bing,
being-
what
being
did you
very
just
I'm
do?
visibly
so ashamed to be in
uncomfortable.
this episode right
dude,
now.
I'm just along for the ride, man.
Just
Yeah.
along
Hey.
for the ride.
What kind of ride we talking?
Charles, I need you to hold my hand. I need comfort.
Dude, I'm with you.
I want to die.
This episode's been great. What are we talking about?
100%.
100%.
But that's about all I have to say about the copyright.
all right, and
That's all you have to say.
That's the
nothing
show.
much.
Thanks for
I got my point.
watching.
Well, we're
Roll the outro.
Roll the outro.
Yeah, roll the outro.
No,
I'm gonna,
that's. I mean, there's not really much to dive into. I mean, it basically just fucks up artists having the ability to use characters freely.
I got a theory why they're doing this, right? So a good example is you guys know Call of Duty Black Ops, great series. Same with Modern Warfare.
Was-
Oh, the one with Mickey?
Example about to lead into the same thing that they're doing. So Activision Blizzard, right? Most people don't know
Terrible
that the Microsoft eShop is charging $50 for Black Ops 2 right now, almost a 12-year-old
Oh
game.
yeah, I mean, I remember at one point World at War was still being sold for like $40.
You
or
know
something like
why
that
they're
on
doing
Steam.
that, right? Because the player base is huge for those.
Yeah.
More than the actual Modern Warfare 3 that's out right now. Black Ops 2 is selling better, and it's 12 years old. So I'm thinking that Disney's doing the same thing, that people revere, old-fashioned Disney. Mickey Mouse, Steamboat Willie, everyone loves that. Their newest stuff is trash. So maybe that's why they're trying to hold on to this so much with a death grip. Is that's the only thing that's making them money?
I
'Cause
mean-
they
If you
know their
saw
newer
their-
stuff.
My
If
thing
you
is that makes a lot of sense for like this, like the context of like today in the last 2 years. But I mean, 2010, 2012 onward, I mean, they didn't need to do shit like that. They were making bangers.
I think
They were
part of
making
it-
good shit.
I think part of it is studios are kind of confused right now because a lot of them have been able to bank on nostalgia, but the audiences are getting older now, and a lot of people are starting to forget. Like Indiana Jones is definitely not in the pop culture sphere,
Dude.
but they still
Oh
tried
my
to make an
God.
Indiana Jones movie, and it bombed.
The last film was absolute fucking garbage. If you guys haven't seen it, I recommend not watching it. Just
I just refuse to watch it because I already know it's gonna be bad.
out of sheer principle, man.
I
That's-
recommend watching it if you want to have an autopsy on how to make a terrible movie.
I've heard people say, I haven't seen it myself personally because I don't want to waste my time, but at the same time, I've heard people say it's worse than Crystal Skull.
I tried to watch it on a flight and I just couldn't get through it.
Crystal Skull's better.
Even on a flight. Oh,
And-
gosh.
yeah. that's
Again,
pretty bad.
like, man,
I did see
Not
that
a high
recommendation
bar
on
to
on the
set,
flight, and I was
but-
like,
Yeah.
it-
I tried.
here's the thing. I get, the nostalgia aspect for a lot of consumers, but yeah, I'm happy though that it's finally beginning to wane because I quickly did not care for nostalgia. I was with it for the first year or two, and when there was like a resurgence of like old content coming, I was like, "Oh, dude, hell yeah! I get to relive the good stuff." Then I saw Lion King, and then I was, no.
I have yet to see a single Disney live action remake.
Yeah, don't.
just-
Don't do that.
Just I know that I've seen like some of the musical scenes in them, and just the audio editing alone is terrible.
well, you've already seen it. You've
So-
seen the old movies. They're essentially the same thing.
Well,
if
yeah,
if you've
well,
seen the old Little Mermaid, you essentially know what happens in this one, except
yeah.
for worse.
Yeah, and that was a big complaint about a lot of the live action remakes is that they're pretty much just shot for shot. And if I've seen the original,
right.
why would I settle for a inferior version of that?
I was actually just about to say, because here's the thing: if not only is it kind of shot for shot, right, but if it's just worse in every metric, including the music, which that should be important, by the way. Like I kind of said as a joke before, but with Lion King, going back to that, like the music in the Lion King live action, really it's just CG, but the remake
That's
of
a
Lion
whole
King,
nother-
the music is just fucking worse.
Yeah, that's a
How
whole.
do you fuck up Be Prepared, like the best
It's
fucking
one of the
song?
best songs, dude. I love Be Prepared.
Granted, Jeremy Irons is the primary reason why that song just fucking works.
He's not even really singing. He's kind of talking
He's really not,
aggressively.
but it doesn't change the fact that he makes that fucking song work.
Yeah.
And that's a whole nother problem with a lot of the live action films is if it's gonna have to be animated for a significant portion of its runtime.
It's not even live action.
Why even make a live action version? Why not just re-release the original film? You probably do a lot better just doing that.
Because those movies make money. They do make money. Like The Lion King, for
The
as
live
bad as
action
that
one?
movie was, that made bank.
How much did it make?
It made bank. Now, the only movies that in the last recent year that bombed, technically speaking, The Little Mermaid bombed. And what was the other one that came out recently? It wasn't a
Mulan?
remake, but it was Wish.
Oh.
Wish bombed horrendously.
Yeah, I know nothing about Wish, but I know that it has just been
What about
absolutely...
Beauty and the Beast?
Beauty and
Beast
the
was-
Beast did main bank. Beauty and the Beast made bank. The Jungle Book made bank. What?
48% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Which one?
Wish.
Wish? Yeah, it's not good.
Oh man.
Audience or critic?
This, let's see. That is critic.
Actually.
That is actually critic. The audience score is actually 81.
Interesting.
That's interesting.
This is why you should not only judge by the audience score.
I'm
I know,
saying
like that seems like the
90% of the time the audience score is a little bit more legitimate.
Hey, actually,
Yeah.
you know
Well,
what Disney?
sometimes.
You know what Disney could do to actually? It obviously depends if I'm interested in whatever they make, but if they went back, like for like the next couple of years, if they went back to traditional animation, I would actually be kind of hyped for that, just to see if they can still maintain magic.
Well, yeah, that's another thing that's just kind of gone downhill.
Yeah.
Is Disney just completely stopped doing 2D
Yeah.
after a while. Now every
Well,
new release is a 3D film.
If you think about it, I think the last, I don't think it was the last one, but one of the last Disney films that came out in theaters that was a traditional animation, Treasure Planet.
Oh,
So
good.
No, legitimately good movie, actually, very good. But here's the thing: it was set up for failure.
yeah.
They released Treasure Planet the same day, or was like the same week as Star Wars. What, the Phantom Menace? I don't remember. And I'm like, why would you do that? That's an L right there. Why would you do that?
Yeah.
You're just asking for it to fail. And that's when, like, I think they started noticing that their movies that were like traditionally animated were starting to like reach a decline or something. Or I guess it just gave them a reason to go with the more cost-effective means of making a movie, which is 3D animation.
Yeah.
Which, granted, you could still make a really good-looking film with 3D animation. No denying that. But there's just something about traditional animation, the craftsmanship of it, the beauty that you can actually create with it. It's just phenomenal.
That's why anime is still popular. You can still still get very, very great hand-drawn backgrounds. Not even hand-drawn backgrounds. There's a lot of like watercolors used in anime. It is gorgeous. Like even in like some of the lower budget animes, the amount of effort that goes in just some of the backgrounds that the characters walk around in, it's pretty freaking cool.
Yeah.
And the way that 2D animation can kind of just take mundane things and make it serene and beautiful is absolutely outstanding. If you've seen any Studio Ghibli film, they can take scenes of a house, of a 2-story building, and make it just aesthetic.
Yeah. Now I have a question. Sorry, were you going to say something, Nathan, before you take that thing out of your mouth?
What thing am I taking out of my mouth?
You know what thing you're taking out of your mouth.
Oh my God, what is it, Jacob?
Johnny
The
Sins,
thing.
hit me up, please.
All right, we're
God.
done. That's it. I regret having Nathan on.
You hate gays now? Not that I'm gay or anything.
Wait, are you
but just-
gay?
You heard
Hey,
it
we
here,
have our first
Nathan's
diversity.
girlfriend.
We have our first diversity hire.
It's like,
oh yeah,
really, I'm not gay.
That's literally the thing your girlfriend said. She
That was the one thing she
and now
feared.
you're gay.
The one thing she feared, and it became reality.
Oh man, yeah. Hopefully that's something that I don't self-actualize, right? Because here's the funny thing is I'm a firm believer that being gay is not a choice. No way. Nobody's that a choice. Sure, you can try, attempt all you want. You're probably going to have no dignity and some mental health issues, but you're probably not gay if you think you're not. So, yeah. Haley, I'm not gay.
I will say, as
Just to confirm.
as someone who is straight, though, like you can obviously like there are objective like aspects of beauty that you can or that you're able to like. Yeah, he's hot.
See,
like obviously he's hot.
If you saw what Michael was doing to me before the show, you would say that you could easily influence your sexuality.
Man,
so I'm not sure I'm sharing the same opinion as Nathan.
The way he was squirming in my grasp. Oh,
Michael, what is wrong with you this episode?
Henry Cavill, please.
I'm just trying to entertain myself.
Henry Cavill, please hit me up.
He's just rubbing my foot.
Oh, no. Hey, here's the thing. Again, no homo. Henry Cavill's gorgeous.
Yes, and look, he's gorgeous. He's smart. He has fun hobbies. You know?
Yeah.
He likes Warhammer. I don't even care for Warhammer, but I was like, man, I might get into Warhammer.
It's cool that there's a big...
saying.
It's cool that Superman likes Warhammer.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm going to make a Warhammer series.
And you know what? He's like super unapologetic about it.
Uh-huh.
Like,
Have influence. That's the reason he got canceled from The Witcher season 3 that they were going to do, because he's so passionate about that when they would fuck around and not want to make it like originally like Witcher, he would get upset and be an asshole on set. But a lot of people said that that's unjustified and that's rude. But I mean, he just loves it. He's been following The Witcher since he was a little kid.
Dude, you got a passion
because he cares about the craft.
Yeah, 100%.
He cares about the craft. He cares about the source material. Like,
yeah, if someone was
nothing wrong with
treating
that.
something that you love so much as a joke, don't tell me that you wouldn't be upset, because that's exactly what happened with Henry Cavill. So you can't just say that he was being an asshole for no reason.
Yeah.
So they should really bring him back for Witcher 3.
Dude, they're going to continue that, and watch those numbers drop. Watch that Witcher series
plummet.
be terrible. It was not going to be
They will
good.
go into the abyss of cinema history.
isn't he doing a Warhammer series? Apparently,
I hope so.
I
Did you say Disney doing Warhammer?
no?
Henry Cavill.
Henry Cavill.
Yes, Henry Cavill
Yes,
doing Warhammer.
Disney. Yes.
Sorry,
I
that's what I
can't
thought you
wait
said.
for them to make the next Warhammer.
That's the day that
movie.
Warhammer goes to the shitter. That's
when the Space Marine unveils his helm, you see those two big flat black ears, that pointed nose, and I'm about to fuck him up. Here's my chainsword. This episode is unhinged.
Hey, Charles, welcome back.
Thank you very much. Yeah,
So,
yeah.
how's it
I
going,
thought
bud?
about
Right.
just escaping through the bathroom window, and then I realized there was.
I would
So,
understand
Charles,
if
there's
you
no
were.
window.
I would
What's
understand
your
if you were.
opinion?
I agree.
I figured that'd be your response.
we were talking about Hitler did nothing wrong. So you agree with that?
Oh man, for God's sake, I was just thinking about that.
For God's sakes, Nathan, I know you're not on this podcast, but put the mic in your mouth when you say something.
So do you want me to deep throat it? Like, who is that? Oh man, I just had the biggest.
I
brain
mean, you
fart
had
of my
all that
fucking
practice
life.
earlier before the show.
Haley, I'm not gay. Haley, I'm not gay.
I think the theme of this show is one of us is gay, and it's definitely Nathan.
You can make an argument that
So
it
it's
might
like
be
Trouble in
Liam,
Terrorist Town, but instead
but-
of a murderer, it's a homosexual.
I was gonna say he's the only one who's dating somebody, and it's obviously a cover up.
I know he's literally.
It all makes sense. It's all coming together.
More on that on the next episode.
Oh my!
You had the
Never
biggest
wondered
escape.
why he's an ass guy.
Oh my god!
Oh my god!
I feel so.
Okay,
I feel so
dead ass.
harmed.
We could get into
way.
a philosophical debate about ass and tits. I'm just saying.
We've already had it.
We've
It's
already.
like one of
already
the
had
few
it.
things me and Charles agree on, other than our fascism.
Yep, that's true.
Wait, remind.
Wait, you're
Yeah.
a tits guy.
I'm a tits guy for sure.
Heck yeah.
100%.
Yeah,
Kind of
thank you.
cringe. I'm not gonna lie.
Wait.
Cringe.
Nathan,
Oh my God.
which were you? Which are you?
Ass, absolutely.
Yes! Wow!
That's
Yeah!
baby.
That's why I hate the goat! The goat!
So hear me out, guys. Hear me out. Best quote by Abraham Lincoln:
Oh, okay.
"Ass can make up for a lack of tits. Tits can't make up for a lack of ass." Just keep that in mind. Keep that in mind,
My
folks.
man. My man.
only
The big
Das
deals
is
are
base!
Das ist
only
baby.
one.
Das is base!
I'm just gonna stress this. Only one of those things is unique to a woman.
Just because something is unique doesn't make it better.
I was going
Oh,
to say
no.
no.
The thing that
is-
makes-
no. If you,
you go ahead.
the thing is, you have to be like, great tits are made just on like they're natural. You can't just build them. You can build a great ass. Like you just work out. You do a bunch
Plastic
of squats,
surgery
you do-
would
Not as a
deem
man.
otherwise.
Not as a man.
Well, I'm not talking about men's asses.
Yeah, well, I mean, you just said that they're the same.
Though I'm sure Henry Cavill does have a fine ass.
Okay, we can leave that off to the side because that's a given.
Let's just talk about the fact for a second that Disney basically owns everything now.
I will say,
There has a big
nothing will
monopoly.
top Star Wars.
For God's sakes.
Oh,
Dude, Star Wars is trash now.
oh,
Star Wars
don't
is
matter.
trash
It
now.
still makes money.
Yeah,
It makes, does it
It's
though?
nostalgia.
Dude,
It
still makes
Mandalorian
enough money.
Mandalorian was the last hope for that, and
And even Mandalorian couldn't do anything.
I was so mad whenever
Someone
they
say Mandalorian was a New Hope.
dude.
Okay.
Mandalorian, it pissed me off so much when they started releasing
and then
episodes
the
in that
fans,
last season,
the
where
fans
like
strike
you
back.
turn it on and sometimes you get 40 minutes, and then sometimes you get literally 28 minutes.
I know.
A fucking monthly subscription, and you're getting in like the most inconsistent episode lengths I've ever seen.
It is
Hey, at least
absolutely,
there's-
and that would actually set the standard
Yeah.
for so many of their other shows because all of the other shows have such an inconsistent. With like Game of Thrones, hour long each episode.
Yeah.
fantastic quality.
Yeah, you know what
and then you
you're
go to
getting. Yeah, it
freaking
used to
Disney
be
Plus, and you
fantastic
have
quality.
30 minutes, you have 20 minutes, you have 50 minutes for some reason. It just
Yeah.
keeps going up and down and up and
It's
down.
wild.
And
When it-
some of the episodes they don't even freaking. And the best episodes are usually the shortest.
Yeah. When the finale is shorter than the longest episode, that's wild. What are
Yeah.
you doing? I haven't subscribed since then because I'm not going to subscribe for monthly to not know what I'm getting.
It's
This is
not worth
crazy.
it.
Can
at
we-
At
all.
least there's no ads. Hulu, I'm shouting out
What?
Hulu for. I'm actually shit talking Hulu. Never mind. So I was watching Vikings the other day, and I had 7 ad breaks. 7 ad breaks in a 40-minute episode. What the actual fuck is that? If it was my subscription, I would cancel it, but it isn't, so I get it for free. So why not? But still, even when it's free and there's an assload of ads, I'm like, I didn't sign up for cable TV. I have an internet connection.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Oh well, almost all streaming platforms are basically just becoming a new version of cable because even some paid versions still have ads on them, which is absolutely. I'm paying you every month. Why am I having to sit through these ads?
Yeah. Oh no, you and me watched that. What was it, Coherence a while back, and that even that other movie that you talked about. We watched it on that other streaming service.
Well, on Tubi,
and there's just a bunch of
if it's free, I get it.
right.
Like they got to make their money some way. It's only really frustrating. I mean, it is frustrating. I don't like watching YouTube and having 3
call
ads
him
before
Mikey?
my video.
yeah.
But I can get it. It's free. They need to make their money some way. When you pay for a service and you're still getting ads, that's just a waste
Oh,
of
yeah.
my money at
Oh,
that
yeah.
point.
Yeah.
I mean, here's the thing. I don't even really want to pay for that service just to get rid of the ads. Like with YouTube and everything. Why do I have to
I
have
paid
so
for
many
it.
freaking? I do not want to pay for that crap.
Sorry.
It's the
Once-
same
once I
reason
s-
I don't do the toll roads. I'm not paying to drive somewhere.
Yeah.
I don't
When
want
I-
to have to pay to watch
I
one
gave
video.
in.
That's stupid.
I'm gonna admit I was weak. I gave in once I started having 5 ads in front of my YouTube videos. Like, fuck it.
Liam, you're
was
the
like, fuck
poorest one in this
Dude,
room. What
the
are you
ad
doing?
block is a thing, you know.
He's paying for ad block. That's what he's doing. No, I
Damn
don't. I don't mind YouTube structure too much. I especially like whenever they started doubling up their ads. If you happen to be lucky enough to get the skip option for the first ad,
Yeah.
and you hit skip, it just skips the second one too.
Yeah, it's not
That's
bad.
awesome. That's great. I
If
love
you
it.
don't skip,
I still
it,
use
place
ad
the
block,
second
but
ad.
Toss
okay.
the lighter, please.
Oh, also, look, on the whole, like, you know, you have to watch ads to watch your shows. Hey, guys, I hate to bring it up again. Just watch anime. Just find
How did this come back to
Or
anime?
buy physical
Just watch-
media.
or buy
Physical
Listen,
media is
I'm
the
probably
way of the
gonna be
world.
the one that
at
agrees
least
with
it
you
should
most.
be.
I like anime. I enjoy it.
They should,
Degenerates, both of you. Degenerates.
you like Death Note. I don't want to hear it.
don't watch
I liked what?
We
You
watched
like Death Note.
We watched
Death
Death Note
Note
on the last podcast we did.
Yeah. And we're gonna watch it again, right?
Yes, we are.
I actually
Yes,
finished
we
it.
are.
I actually
you
finished
watched
Death Note.
anime without
I freaking
Did you really?
love it. That
Oh
stuff's
my
awesome.
gosh! Did you watch the
Do you-
second episode? The second season?
What do you mean the second
no,
season?
no,
Watch the
no,
whole
no.
show.
Did you watch the third, the third act? So
The third-
after,
yes, yeah.
so after, well, have we all seen Death Note, right? Have you seen
After okay,
So after-
spoiler,
spoilers,
after L's
I guess.
death. Yeah.
Yeah, so,
You're
so
still
you saw
watching
after El's
spoilers.
death. Yeah. So you saw after El's death.
Yes.
So okay, do you agree that everything after Elle's death was not as good as
Yes, I actually talked to Liam about this. Like, I agree. Everything after Elle's death is not as good. The finale, I actually really enjoyed.
Finale's fine. I think the manga did it better, and that's
Yes.
something you and I can, if you're interested,
I
can
would
tell you
love
more
to
about
debate
it.
that with you because I heard of this guy online. We're going off topic, but I'm going to talk about that
We've been
now for a
going
second.
off topic.
There was this guy that talked about the
We've
manga and
continuously
compared
gone
it
off
to
topic.
compared it to the series and said that Elle's death in the series was more. It was more over, which it is. It is a more overdramatic, but it painted him as in a more sympathetic light. I don't agree with that at all. I think that at that point, I was rooting for Elle to die.
Oh,
I was hoping.
Whoa! Whoa!
Yeah.
Light.
No. Sorry.
Holy
Sorry.
shit.
Sorry. Hold. Lights. The very ending of Death Note. Sorry. I love Elle. I love Elle as a character. Hold up. When Light dies at the very ending, they said that they painted him in a more sympathetic light.
Oh,
I
no.
disagree with that entirely.
I was about to wait in the manga or the anime?
No, the anime. They
Oh,
said in the manga they had it more as a neutral, but in the anime they said that they painted it more as
okay.
a.
I think I know what you're talking
in
about.
sympathetic
I
light.
guess I can kind of see where some people would get where they would get that because when he's the last scene of him running, when he sees kind of an apparition of his younger self walking right by him as like a normal high school student, I guess people are like. Say, like that's like a if it wasn't for him ever finding the Death Note, he would have been a good man. Blah blah blah. Here's the thing.
No.
It's tragic.
No.
but that's
Light's actually always been an egotistical
Egotistical,
yes.
individual. He's always been kind of a shithead
Well,
deep down.
Oh, well, I don't know because there was whenever he lost his memory and all that.
No, let me
that
rephrase
was
it.
I actually liked him. I was like,
No, I do too. No, I do too. No,
Like, what a solid dude.
Let me rephrase it. I think he's always been capable of doing something like that.
Okay.
Is what I should say, right? Like, he's always been prideful. That cannot be denied. Right?
I agree.
Like that's one of his core characteristics. But yeah, like if it wasn't for a Death Note, he would have. I think it was apparently the author of Death Note even said that if Light had never found the Death Note, he probably would have been solving cases with Elle, probably.
yeah.
But yeah, no, I think Light is a shit. He's always had the he's always been likely to become a shithead if given the opportunity.
He's always had that prideful mentality of the idea that he's better than everybody in the room. That's always been present.
Well,
that
'cause-
doesn't mean that he's going to go out and murder everybody if he didn't have the Death Note. He may have turned into a career man. He may have turned into a person who solves cases. You may have been right about that. But going back to the ending, I don't believe at all that it was a sympathetic ending in any way, shape, or form. I thought that when he saw him, I thought in my mind that it was more of a you wasted everything. You wasted your life, and this was your decision, and you should suffer because of it, and you deserve what's coming to you. And I was hoping that they would die. I was hoping that he would get his just ends, and when he died, I was happy.
No,
it was
for me, the thing about the manga that I liked a bit more is all I'm saying is that I felt when I read the manga, this was years ago.
Yeah.
It seemed like he was even more pathetic than he was in the anime during his death. Like
Really?
he was. If memory serves, he was even more pathetic. In fact,
Really?
he didn't get a chance to run away. He just died like a dog.
Oh yeah, he
after
didn't.
getting shot by Matsu.
You're right. He didn't in the manga. He actually
And
didn't run away. But I think again with the over dramatic aspect that is present in the whole
Sure.
show, I feel like that matched the show more. And I don't think that that makes it more sympathetic. I just think it matches the show more.
I'm never
I don't
gonna
know.
argue.
It was even more satisfying each time he'd get up.
And
Yes.
Put him down. It was
Fall
like,
down.
But one of the things, one of the
man,
things in the manga,
Shoot him
even-
again.
Even, the thing is, even thematically, the manga and the anime are very different in the way they approach the
yes,
show.
absolutely.
Because the manga, even the author of the manga said that he didn't really want anyone to kind of pick a moral side when it came to the characters. He didn't want anyone kind of analyzing it. He just wanted to tell a good story.
Because
the
even
anime,
Elle's kind of a shithead, by the way.
the anime does really try to lean into those moral principles that the original author didn't really intend for. So they're already kind of different on the basis of that alone.
Actually, there is a. I'm going to circle this back to Disney for a second.
Sure.
But there is a very, very, very good tool in storytelling that I feel like only two directors, potentially a few others, but I think two directors do this very well. That I think more directors should do,
We're
at
talking
least
about like
nowadays.
modern movie studio, like
Well,
modern filmmakers.
sort of.
Yeah,
The
okay.
Coen brothers, when they adapted the story for No Country for Old Men, they weren't going for any political messaging. They weren't going for anything that was supposed to have a message. Their approach to storytelling was to not have a message. And every time that there's a lot of critics going after their movies, not going after their movies, but like critiquing their movies and saying like, and deconstructing their messages, they specifically say in a lot of their movies that there is no message and that a lot of this stuff is just for the story and to have fun and for, you could say, themes, but there is no messaging. And I think that a lot of studios should really kind of take that approach to more storytelling, even in Disney aspect. What is up?
Have y'all ever heard of a little movie called Rubber?
No.
Oh, yes, I have.
Oh man, it's
Whoa.
literally
Please inform us.
Oh my god! So the movie opens with a black screen with text. Or no, it's just a guy. I think a guy that's just standing there talking. Or it's been years since I watched it, but it starts with the introduction just saying, "This means nothing. This is about nothing. It's a tire that goes around killing people." That's how it opens.
Mikey, can I just say that
Exactly what you're talking
when
about.
we made eye contact, I knew what you were gonna bring up.
Dude, I thought,
because we watched it together too, right?
Yep.
Because I think Kyle's the one who.
Oh, we were all over
yeah.
at our.
Was it
we
the-
were
You're
my
at your
house.
place, yeah.
Hey, was
That
it
was so
was it
much
the
fun.
it was the tire serial killer, right?
Yeah.
Yes,
I know exactly what you're talking about.
bruh. Oh man.
I have a great example of a movie that we should watch that kind of falls into that same thing.
What is it?
It is pure fun. It's called Dead or Alive. I think it's actually a sequel. It's Dead or Alive 2. It may be Dead or Alive or just Dead or Alive 2. I don't remember which one it is, but it is I think it's a Japanese film. It is
As always.
it is a detective film. However, the way it ends,
Love it.
you will never predict how it ends. And that's all
Okay.
I'm gonna say.
Okay.
The main
gonna
the
Okay.
main character is actually a homosexual.
Are you in that movie?
Oh.
I'm not in any credits. Just saying.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're not helping your case by having your arm around Liam right now.
Oh, but real quick, just so one last thing I want to say about the Death Note manga
Cuddle. Yes,
that I liked more is so even in the anime, you know, Mikami or whatever his name is, the crazy dude who says delete.
That is
delete.
Mikami.
Oh my.
Oh, I can't believe I
yeah.
remember the name.
Oh.
But no, so Mikami. So in the anime, you know how he kills himself as like a distraction, I guess, or something. Or maybe it was just because he was like he just wanted to kill himself. But in the manga, like he like fucking berates Light, saying you are no god. Like you're like yeah. That's the other thing. That's why I'm saying that like Light is even more pathetic because the one guy who you would think would be other than Misa, of course, who would be like who would follow him like till he dies,
Yeah.
right? Do anything is just like. Yeah, just basically telling Light that he's nothing.
I agree. I would have preferred that in the anime. That would have been nice to see.
Yeah, in the manga, I like because again, I watched the anime before I read the manga, right?
Like a good boy.
But I think overall I enjoyed the anime more, right?
Yeah.
But I will say I think I liked the ending, the manga a little bit more.
Yeah.
is all I'm saying.
That's pretty typical, though. I mean, for the manga to be better.
Not necessarily. Okay.
It depends. Look, because okay,
Or
I think-
reading material in general, I should say.
Reading
Oh,
material
I see what
again.
yes.
I think there's a humongous misconception with like reading material being better than the movies. I agree on a lot of circumstances that is the case, but it really does depend on taste.
Yeah,
because books and movies are such different materials that it's impossible to compare the two because
well,
books
that's-
are there for detail. Books have all
Yes,
the
I
you
was
read the
gonna-
Lord of the Rings books. Dear God, there's
I
too
was going to
much
say
detail in
when
those
you
books.
read a book, you're going to get much more information.
Yes.
you're going to understand more of a character's introspection. right?
However, sometimes that actually isn't the best thing because some authors just kind of take it to the next level and give you a bunch of unnecessary information.
agree.
within the pages
well, yeah,
itself.
that's what we call bloat. I
Yeah.
agree.
Yeah, but that's what I'm getting to.
Movies have that problem,
a lot
too.
a lot of the people that claim that the book is better than the movie will claim that the book is better on the movie on the basis that it just gives you more information and without really further explaining how that makes it better.
Yeah. And again, some books actually go into more detail and it makes the world feel more real and more tangible, and that's fine. But again, because there's such a different medium, the way they tell the story can be very different. Now, I agree. I've read all the Harry Potter books, and I've seen all the Harry Potter movies, and I think they're all great in their own individual ways. But in my own personal opinion, I prefer the movies on the basis because I like film. I'm a film guy. I make my own short films. Yeah. I just like that stuff better. But at the same time,
I agree.
the story's more efficient.
No, I agree. I like the films more. One thing I actually really like in the Harry Potter films more than I do the books, I like the character of Snape more in the movies than I do in the books.
I agree.
In the books, Snape is just an asshole. Like he through and through, he's just an asshole. In the movies, he's still an asshole, of course.
Yeah.
But like the reveal of Snape, was so good.
One of the most interesting characters.
Better in the movies than it was in the books.
Really?
Yes, absolutely.
I gotta disagree. It's been years since I read the books, but I don't know.
I mean, same here. I mean, like I have a more vivid memory of the
You're just trying to be a contrarian now.
Of course. Like,
yeah.
I haven't read the books in years, but I disagree with that statement.
Right.
I've read the books though. For the
well,
record,
here's the thing: the books are great.
How was Snape introduced in the books?
Introduced like in the first.
Liam, you tell
I
us.
never read the books.
He was introduced the
then
same
shut
way
up.
as he was in the movie. What are you talking about? He was introduced as an asshole both times.
Yes.
Yeah, he was introduced as a...
Snape, he's an asshole in both forms, right? But I like how he's a bit more sympathetic in the film than in the book.
Yeah. It seems like such a... Again, it's not that I'm saying this, that it
And
seems like
music.
such a... like... The way that Snape was portrayed in the movies, the way I like that better is purely based on Alan Rickman's performance.
Yes,
So
absolutely.
much sympathy come from his
R.I.P.
performance, and a lot of that could be construed as deadpan at the very beginning, and you can see him as a very stereotypical character. But a lot of the decisions that he was making in the beginning was because J.K. Rowling actually told him what was going to happen to his character later on, and that informed all of his decisions going forward. And because of that, as the movies continued on, as the character became a little more two-dimensional, more deep, when the final movie happened, you understood his whole mentality. And his look that he gave Harry Potter on his death, that is so impactful. That's so powerful. It's just the fact that, like, when he says, like, you have her eyes, means that's not just a cheesy line. That means so much more coming from that character.
He was gay.
What? He liked a chick. How is
Nathan?
Nathan!
Nathan, we need an expert.
We need an expert on homosexuality. None of us are gay, as far as we know.
Nathan!
Hey, comment below. Which one of us are gay?
They'll probably say me.
Was Snape
might say
gay?
Snape gay?
Were you... Get on the mic. Go back. You beautiful man. I saw your tattoo. It's pretty cool. Thank you. That's the first time I saw that tattoo, actually. It's pretty cool.
Which one are you talking about?
The one on your left arm.
Left arm. I got this while I was in tech school.
But does anybody...
Is Snape gay?
Is Snape gay?
Yes.
Snape from Harry Potter.
Potter. Man, that's really hard to say. But yeah, he really didn't have any sexual interests while he was in the movies or the books.
Harry's mom.
He liked Harry's mom quite a bit.
Get him off the mic. Get him off the mic. This
Dude,
is a
his whole
mistake.
character was based on the fact that he wanted to
He was
bang
trying
Harry's
to fuck
mom.
Harry's mom.
Even at death.
Even
When she's dead.
Yeah, but then he saw Harry's eyes and was like, I could settle for that.
I can settle for that.
Oh my...
Hey, if anything, he is like the Jeffrey Dahmer of the Harry Potter series. I mean, look at all the drugs that he was able to make. I mean, he's literally the chemist of Hogwarts. So
Stop making sense.
Yeah.
Stop making sense.
sorry, I'm too good at that. All right, here you go.
Wait, he did make a luck potion, right?
Charles.
Unfortunately, not all anime is great. In fact, probably like 33 to 40% of anime
But
is
quite a
good,
bit of it is
maybe.
good. If you're not an anime fan normally like me, like I wasn't a huge anime fan for a while, and then I found Your Name. That's pretty freaking awesome. It's a great movie.
It's a pretty vanilla thing to like, but you know, like
I do not care. I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it's a bad thing.
I'd be
Fuck.
proud of having a vanilla taste in anime. Anime
Yeah.
sucks.
And see, and that's the
What
only
the
type of vanilla
Freaking
that's
degenerates.
that should be
You
the
just talked
only-
about
How?
Attack on
It's for
Titans. What do you
degenerates.
mean?
it's
for
okay.
degenerates.
No,
you
no, no,
just
no.
talked. What are you
Yeah.
talking
No, no, no.
about?
It's not the anime's for degenerates, but there's a lot of degenerates who like anime.
There is hentai. Goodness.
Yeah.
And they really leaned into that audience.
Okay, but look,
It makes some money,
The
I
really good shows I
guess.
talk about don't do that. Seriously, you want like Death Note? Obviously, there's Code Geass. There's Cowboy Bebop. Oh, Psychopaths! Please watch Psychopaths. I promise you, you will like it. I promise. Even if you're like,
The website that
Animes
you
that
have
don't-
it starred
See,
on
just,
me for Psychopaths, it got taken down. I can't watch it anymore.
So unfortunately,
but I can pay for it, so
I'm
I can
gonna
still
have
watch
to-
Psychopaths.
Listen, I'm gonna have to take Charles's contrarian position here, but I'm gonna take it to the nth degree and uphold the Matt Walsh position that anime is satanic.
Ooh,
how?
agreed.
How
Based
so?
on what?
How
Based
so?
on
Based on
what?
the word of God.
You're not even
No.
Christian.
Actually, Liam,
Based on
expand on the
based on
position.
getting a reaction from you.
No, but expand on the position though. I'm
I
curious.
have nothing.
So you have nothing. So you're,
Okay,
you're
so
talking out of
Liam,
your ass.
do you
Can
have
expand
any-
on his
Liam,
position? Can
Liam, do
expand
you
on
have
his
any
position then?
opinion on anime whatsoever?
I mean, it's like any other medium. There's good and bad.
Of course. Yeah.
Fence sitter.
What an amazing opinion right there.
Oh
Center.
my God.
That's
That's one thing I
Like-
detest more than anime.
think-
That's what's
I
wrong
think-
with this world.
I think anime
Yeah, he
is
does.
far more creative than most Western animation by far,
I will agree.
and that
Yeah.
it leaves a lot of room for creativity that a lot of other
Yeah.
forms of animation don't.
Also, when an anime is bad, it is less insulting than when I watch something that's bad here in the West.
Yeah, I've seen some bad anime.
Do you
It's
think if we nuke Japan again, they'll come out with something even cooler? Than
Why
hentai?
would we do? No, let's not ruin a good thing. Let's not ruin this good thing we have.
But the reason the good thing we have is because we.
No, no,
nuked them.
but here's
so
the-
is there a statute of limitations to nuking
Oh my
countries?
God.
I have a major issue with what you said. Talking about what were you saying about Western?
He wasn't even listening.
Cartoons? And I just
How-
want
how
to make
they're
sure.
He's just being contrarian again.
You're saying
We're talking
you're
about
saying
nuking
Western
the people.
media or Western cartoons is worse than anime
When it's bad,
when it's bad.
like bad Japanese anime is much better than bad American anime.
I wouldn't-
See,
No, no, no,
I
no, no,
I
no.
fully disagree.
No,
I don't know if
Really?
you've heard about this new TV show, Has Been Hotel, that's coming out.
That's not
That
an
is
anime.
gonna
That's
be-
not an anime.
No, but it's Western animated media, and it is the best thing that's come out.
Oh,
I'd say
Oh, I see. I see.
since-
Yeah. So, and actually, we're going to watch it as well.
We are.
And in the next episode, we're probably going to praise how wonderful the craftsmanship
Yep.
is.
We're gonna watch a version of Western media that's good, Has Been Hotel, and then degenerate Western media in South Park. Yeah.
Yep. That's
And
exactly
we're
what we're
South
going to
Park
do.
is the goat.
We're gonna contrast the differences here.
Compare and contrast. Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely. But yeah, no, but yeah, my stance though is that bad anime is less insulting than bad shows here. Is how I'll put it.
And if you believe that, then we needed a third nuke.
What the?
I think we got our point across.
Did we?
Copyright sucks. Disney
Did
sucks.
we? Yeah, we kind. I don't think
it
there's.
just went off the rails.
Thank you for watching this episode. Comment down below what you think Michael's ethnicity is. We don't know yet.
I swear to fucking God, if you say Mexican, I'll